Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello. Hi guys, welcome to Easy English YouTube channel. Today we will learn tenses. What is tenses? Tenses is Tenses is time of action or work, time, now, earlier, completed, yet to start. Tense equal to time. Tense it tells us basically tense is equal to time, now, time, three broad categories like past, future and present. Past means yesterday, 2 days ago, last month, etc. These simple periods are the past. Second category is present. Present is now, today, this moment, this year, this month. And the third time period is future, which is yet to begin. Tomorrow, next month, next week, next year, etc. Now I am reminded of a line by Master. It is simple of sentence. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present. So it is a gift, okay? Now these are the three time categories. There are four types of action. The first is a simple action, simple or indefinite. Simple action means kind of a universal, indefinite. For example, I dance, he runs. Universal statement about the activity. Whether it is over or not, whether I am dancing right now or not, or I finish dancing. No, it is just a simple statement of fact. I dance. Well, I am not really dance, but I wish I was about 85% of spoken English actually uses this simple or indefinite tenses. In fact, when you read newspapers or books, chances are you are going to read a lot of simple present tense. Now we are going to talk about this is in details. Right now I am just giving you an overview of the different types of time and the different types of action. Example is simple present tense or present indefinite. There are different type of action. The second type of action is continuous or progressive, means it is happening right now. Now the action is going. The action is still going. It is a continuous process. I am teaching you tenses. You are learning English grammar. They are going to take time to get over the process is continuing. And the third type action is perfect. Perfect, something that is complete or it's wrapped up. So the rule of perfect tense is that this type of action started in the past and it is going to get over at some point. I have done my homework, means I have completed all my homework and it is perfect. Well, at least in my opinion. And the fourth type of action, which is actually used very rarely, is perfect continuous. Now remember that continuous means a process. Reading, speaking, walking, and perfect mean to be complete, to have read, to have walked. So what does perfect continuous really means? Well, this means there is a process, let's say studying, or say you are preparing for this tenses marathon, and then some continuing action of the past is probably going to get over at some point, either now or in the future. This tense is used very rarely. So quick recap, here is the three types of period: past and future. There are four types of work or action, which is simple or which is indefinite, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. Now combination of those is going to give us 12 type of tenses. In addition to this, there are also some conditional tenses, and I am going to cover that later in an exclusive class. So before we move on to these 12 tenses, I want to give a short out to leaving an amazing message. Present simple tense. Present tense. 70% of spoken English. All spoken English is present tense, and present simple is probably around 57%. So more than half of all the words we speak are in present simple tense. Example: I drink tea. They ride horses. They ride horses. Go to the gym. Present simple tense. Structure: subject plus base form of verb. Exception: I drink, but Tanya drinks. How much coffee does Tanya drink? So here is the first exception. I, you, we, they. Work, play, eat, do, run. He, she, it. Walks, plays, eats, does, runs. He, she is third person singular. So notice that we add an extra s or an es to the verb. For example, he climbs, she speaks, the ball bounces. Now I also have an simple present tense. I, you, we, they is used do. He, she, it use does. He, she, it third person singular. But this exception also has an exception, and I want you to listen to this very carefully. So there is a main verb now. When the main verb is preceded by an auxiliary verb, or a helping verb. Example, do can must, the main verb always remains in its original form. It's like the master has a helper. The helper helps the work so the master can relax. Okay. Example, she walks, but she can walk. He reads, but he must read, or he does read. Okay, so simple present tense rules. Rule number one, simple present tense or the indefinite present tense is used for kind of general statement, habits and facts. Example, the sun rises in the east. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Notice the sun and the water were, so we say it boils and rises. I am a teacher. He is a magician. I love chocolate with an orange flavor. I actually particularly like the orange flavor in chocolate. What about you? Now, why are these called indefinite? Because there is no tangible time frame to them. He is a magician. He was probably a magician. He might remain one in the future. Also, what we don't know for sure, it is just a general statement of fact. And did you notice that I said I am and he is? It is time for another exception. The exception is that the helping verb be, it also takes different forms. I am, you are, we, they are, he, she, it. It is my birthday in September. Make sure you wish. You are very sweet. I am grateful. Okay, rule number 2. Simple present tense is used for scheduled events in the future like train or flight timings. The train arrives at 6 p.m. is in the future. Yet we say the train arrives at 6 p.m. The flight is at 2 a.m. The movie starts at 4. Now these are all events in the future. So why are we using simple present tense? That is because they are already in the calendar, so they are like a fact. So we use simple present tense. Rule number 3. Simple present tense is also used in story writing to create drama. I walk into the store. He walks up behind me. They pull out their guns and fire. The man walked behind me. But where is the tension? Rule number 4. Let's look at negative sentence. Subject plus do or does plus not plus main verb. So the structure is subject plus do does plus not plus main verb. Now always not always comes before the main verb. Now you, we, they do and do not, he, she, it does and does not, and you can use the constructions also when you speak do not and does not. I do not like spicy food. She does not like meat. We do not have class on Saturdays. You do not understand the instruction. The cat does not like water. Now, before we move on to the second type of tense, if you have any question on simply present tense, then put it in comment below. Tense number 2, present continuous tense. Present continuous tense, you are learning English grammar. I am talking to you. Rule number 1, use to talk about action that are happening at the present moment or around the time of speaking. Actions that are happening at the present moment of time or maybe around the time of speaking. You are sitting on a chair means as we speak right now, you are sitting on a chair. Not yesterday, not always, but right now. Fun fact, continuous has two U's in the spelling you or you. Okay, let's talk about the structure. The structure is subject plus be plus verb ing. Now, whenever you see ing teaching, learning, running, it is a continuous tense. And quick recap: I am, you are, we, they are, he, she, it is. Example: learning English. We are going to college. It is raining outside. I am studying for my exam. I am taking classes for you. Simbi is whimpering, moaning, groaning, barking, wagging her tail. Get it now? Notice these two sentences and tell me what is the difference. What do you think versus what are you thinking? Is simple present tense. It is universal. What are your thoughts about this issue in general? But what are you thinking is what are you thinking right now at this exact moment. That is the present continuous tense. Okay, so think about this. Let's you are talking to me and I tell you that I am learning Spanish, but right now I am talking to you and I am not really learning Spanish at this exact time of speaking. So does that mean I am lying? No. Now I am in the process of learning Spanish right now. Around this time the process started maybe a few weeks ago and it is not yet over, so we can use the present continuous tense. She is planning a vacation. This does not mean that every single minute she is thinking about her vacation, but that is she is in the middle of the process of planning it. My favorite thing to do is to plan a vacation. What is your rule number 2 is also used to talk about temporary situation. Continuous tense is also used to talk about a temporary situation. So here are two sentences. My mom lives in Delhi. My mom lives in Delhi. Different, it all depends on how I am in the situation. If I think my mom permanent place of residence and I am going to say my mom lives in Delhi, but when I say she is living in Delhi, I think it is a temporary arrangement. She is living there at the moment. It might change later. Now language is chosen as per your intent. What do you want to say? Choose the words accordingly. Means he is doing it as of now. This is a temporary situation. He will finish the course. He will start working at the hospital. Perhaps I am preparing dinner. I will get it over, but right now I am in the middle of it. Rule number 3 also used to talk about arrangement in the future that are scheduled. We are having dinner at a restaurant tonight. She is going to the dentist at 2:30 p.m. I am flying to Fiji next week. The reason we use this present continuous tense is because plans are made, meetings are all scheduled. It is in the diary. It is as though the process has already begun. Rule number 4 used to talk about action that we can control. Rule number 4 present continuous tense is also used to usually temporary. Once again, now I am going to give you quick sentences and you tell me the difference. You are a careful person. You are being careful. Now you are a careful person is simple present tense statement of fact. You are always a careful person. But you are being careful implies that this is an unusual temporary situation that you can control. You are trying to be very careful, but usually you are not that way. Are a silly air of is being silly. Being silly means that you are not normally silly. You are just pretending to be silly right now. A temporary unusual situation right now that you can control. Number 5. The present continuous tense can also be used to express an annoying habit. Now I am going to show you 2 more sentences. AR is talking in class. Swani is always talking in class. Whose action bothers you? Write your answer as a comment below. Swani is talking in class. It sounds like an annoying habit. Rule number present continuous. Let's look at it in the negative form structure. Is subject plus be plus not plus verb ing. Present continuous in the negative form. I am not meeting my friend on Friday. We are not talking to him. She is not reading that book. They are not being very cooperative. Now, exception usually grammar. Teachers will tell you that present continuous should not be used with state verb. So state verb or static verbs are verbs that describe a state or condition rather than an action. Example: love, believe, know, understand, hate, remember. Now, usually you would say, I understand. You are not going to say, I am understanding. I know, not I am knowing, but there are exceptions to this rule. As well as example, I am hating this music because it is temporary state usually. I like music, but right now it is getting on my nerves. Especially this particular music I am loving. My new haircut means it is temporary and I love it now. I am going to give you once again two sentences and you need to notice the difference between these two. Suhani stayed with us quite often. I love having her over. Suhani is with us at the moment and I am loving having her over. Suhani is with us at the moment and I am loving having a rover. The first one is simple. It is a fact. I love it. Every time she stayed with us. Second one is temporary situation and it's making me very happy at this moment. Now sometimes temporary situation at this point in time now you can break the grammar rules as long as you kind of understand the context. In fact, I am finding a lot of nouns are becoming verbs in the present continuous. For example, we are Snapchatting, YouTubing, WhatsApping, Instagramming, Facebooking. It is like these brand names have kind of become action, present continuous action. What about Jimmy? Is that an action? Tense number 3, present perfect tense. Action verb. Time for the third. And rule number 1, the present perfect tense is used to describe those kind of actions or events that started in the past and had consequences in the present. Now notice the difference between these two statements. She lost her keys. She has lost her keys. She lost her keys is like the event happened in the past. Maybe she found them, maybe she got a replacement key made, but either way the story is over and it has no boring on this present moment. But she has lost her keys implies that perhaps she is stuck without her keys. Right now she lost it in the past, but it is impacting her current situation. So the structure is subject plus has have plus past participle. A memory tip: whenever you see the words have had or has, you know that it is the perfect tense. Okay, notice that even though this is a present perfect tense, the main verb is in the past participle form, usually with an s. Since we are talking about events, that started in the past, like walked, talked, danced, spotted, killed. Hummus happening events that happened or started in the past but have an impact on the present. Remember that now irregular verbs can also be in the past participle form. For example, go becomes gone or went, drink becomes drunk, am become beans. I have forgotten his name. Now I would use this when the person is right in front of me and I can't remember their name. Oh, well, not. I won't say I forgot their name, which is a past event has no impact on the present. I have cleaned my room so I can go out with my friends. Now this is a past action with an impact on the present. Now exception. Notice once again I, you, we, they had, and he, she, it has, and by the way, rule number 2. Present perfect is also used to talk about events that started in the past but are incomplete now. Think about the difference between these two sentences. I had 3 cups of tea yesterday. Yesterday is over. It is in the past tense. I have had 3 cups of tea today. Already, not yet over counting to the present moment. So present perfect language is most about the intent rather than the rules. Think of what do you want to say and then choose the tense. Accordingly, my aunt never went to Madrid. Simple past tense is used because maybe aunt it is no more or maybe aunt does not travel anymore. It sounds like a final completed action. Paul has never been to Madrid. It is completed action present perfect tense, which means there is a chance that Paul may go to Madrid sometime. This sentence can also be written as Paul has not been to Madrid so far. Now notice these two sentences. Aditi never left. Bobby has never left USA. Who is still alive? The present perfect shows an unfinished period of time until now, while past is finished. Is over now. We can often use constructions like Bob's never left US. This is Bobby has not. Bobby has never left US. We walked 3 kilometers so far. I have met a lot of people in the last few days. It is going on. I might meet some more people soon. But the main reason we are going to use this present perfect tense is when we want to talk about the impact of that action on the present. It is not about how long it has been going on. It's okay. Rule number 3. The present perfect tense is used to describe our life experiences up to the present. I have revealed to 20 countries. I have made over 400 videos on YouTube, and I hope you have. She has been to Canada 3 times. Rule number 3. Oftentimes present perfect is used with time expressions that indicate an indefinite time frame. Expressions that kind of indicate indefinite time, such as ever, never, already, yet, just, recently. So for example, have you ever seen a shooting star? I have not yet sent that email notice. That this has an extra layer of meaning. What I am meaning, I am intending to send that email, but it has not been sent up to this point. He has already left. Now when we use the past perfect, it has implications to the present. So this is the statement perhaps means you can no longer say bye to him. He has already left now. It depends on the context, but using past perfect adds more meaning. Notice the difference between I had lunch and I have had lunch. Using present perfect adds that extra layer of meaning. This one implies I am not hungry right now. I have just had lunch. Had lunch is more like perhaps I had it at 2 p.m., etc. When and where present perfect, on the other hand, it is all about the impact on the present. Rule number 4 in the negative sentence. Present perfect tense has a structure of subject plus, has, have, plus, not, plus, past participle, and this can be contracted as have not and has not. While speaking, example, she has not finished her report, yet they have not called since yesterday. And now let's move on to the final present tense. Number 4. Present perfect continuous tense. I have been eating chocolate all morning. How would love that. I have been working since 7 a.m. True, the action started in the past, but it continues to the present, and the structure is subject plus has, have, plus been, plus verb, ing. The dog has been barking incessantly all night. She has been crying all morning. Oh no, how sad memory tip. Notice that has have had plus ing perfect plus continuous rule. Number 1. The present perfect continuous tense is used for actions or situations that started in the past, are still ongoing in the present, and may continue into the future. Now these are being used to emphasize how long something has been happening, and also to show the impact of that continuing action on the present. It is very layered. There are many layers inside this tense. We have been saving money for our vacation all year We have been researching on tenses for weeks and I hope you find this lesson useful. They have been renovating their house for months. Now, many times we emphasize the duration of an action or a situation by using time clauses like since 11 a.m. for 2 weeks, all day, recently, already, etc. Now, notice the difference between these two sentences. I have studied English and now I feel confident. I have been studying English for the past 2 days. The first one is present perfect, which focuses on the result of the action. I feel confident. The second one is present continuous. So the action is still going on. It focuses on the ongoing nature of the action. You are still studying. It talks about how long it has been going on for. And the impact on the present is also added like a layer. Like I am tired of studying. So the structure most of the time would look like subject plus has have plus been plus verb ing plus since or time. Rule number 2. Present perfect continuous is used to talk about things that have been happening recently or actions taking place lately. Or maybe action that are taking place. We have been watching movies all weekend. Well, if you have some movie recommendation, it has been raining since morning. I have been exploring some AI tools recently. Rule number 3. We usually do not use present perfect continuous tense to talk about state verbs. Remember, we spoke about stative verbs. Example, it would be wrong to say, I have been hating this vegetable. Oh, I hope you don't hate vegetables. But if you do, it would be more appropriate to say, I hate vegetables in the simple present tense. Like a fact, I have been belonging to this band would be wrong. I belong to this band would be correct. Rule number 4. In the negative form, the structure would be subject plus as if plus not plus been plus verb ing plus since. For time, now the time. Clauses is optional, but since we use it, here I put it in the structure. She has not been feeling well of late. We can use the contraction has not or have not example. They have not been working out at the gym. Recently, I have not been practicing music for weeks. Okay, that closes the present tense, which overall accounts for about 70% of all spoken English. Now it is time to move on the past simple past tense, and it is 4 forms tense. Number 5. Simple past tense. Rule number 1. Use past for finished action. She played football this morning. Rule number 1. Simple past tense used for past completed actions. This, by the way, is the second most commonly used tense after the simple present tense. So about 20% of the time you use the simple past tense. The structure is subject plus verb ed for regular verb. For example, he visited his grandparents last summer. Now, lots of verbs are irregular and they don't actually follow a specific pattern. Example, went, wrote, took. Example, I slept at 10 p.m. last night. Now, riddle, which common English verb becomes its own past tense by rule number 2. Often time expression like yesterday, last week, 2 days ago are used in these sentences that indicate the specific time when the action or event took place. We went to the beach last summer. My sister finished the book last night. In the negative form, the structure would be subject plus did plus not plus verb ed for regular verbs, and we can use the contractions did not. I did not go to the party last night. She did not finish her homework on time. We did not visit the museum during a vacation. They did not pass the exam despite studying hard. He did not eat lunch at the restaurant. Once again, now move on tense number. There are tense number 6 is past continuous tense. I was drinking tea. Rule number 1. Past continuous tense is used to talk about a continuing action at some point in the past. Or a state, it used to say that something was happening at a specific moment in the past. Now the structure would be subject plus was were plus verb. Example, let's say that my friends played tennis from 9 am to 11 am yesterday. Simple past tense. Yesterday, now that is a simple past tense, but what happened at 10 am yesterday? They were playing tennis. So if we are going to talk about a specific point in the past and they were in the middle of doing something, then we use the past continuous tense. Last year, this time I was living in Turkey. I was drinking tea when the bell rang on. Tanisha was cooking at 7 p.m. yesterday. These are action or events that were in progress or they were happening at a specific time in the past, and we would use was for singular subject like I, he, she, it, and were for plural subject like you, we, they. So the main verb remains in its base form and in is just added to show continuous action. Example, they were talking, he was walking, she was crying. Rule number 2. This is an ongoing action or event which is often interrupted by another action or event. I was reading a book at 3 o'clock when they called. They were gossiping about Alia when she walked in. They were playing tennis yesterday when I saw them at the club. Now we could use the expression like at 3 or yesterday at this time while etc. Now notice the difference between these two sentences. We were walking home when we met Ted, we walked home and we met Ted. Now the first one means that we were in the middle of walking home when we met Ted. Second one means that often the event of walking home had been completed. We met Ted. Notice these two sentences. When Karen arrived, we were having dinner. When Karen arrived, we had dinner. Now, in which of these two situations you think Karen can say you started within me? The first one, because when Karen arrived, we were in the middle of having dinner. It was ongoing. When she arrived, in the second statement, when Karen arrived is simple past, means a completed event. So it is like saying after Karen arrived, we had dinner. Rule number 3, the negative form is straightforward. So the structure is subject plus was were plus not plus verb ing. Was not riding a cycle. I was not reading a book during the flight. Through though flight are the perfect me. Time to read or listen to podcast. Tense number 7, past perfect tense. This I had already finished my work when he called. I had learned to cook for the pandemic. Somewhat true, but mostly I brushed up my cooking skills during the pandemic. Rule number 1, the past perfect tense is used to describe an action or event that occurred before another action or event in the past structure. Subject plus had plus past participle. They had gone to the movies before the rain started. She had studied French for 3 years before she moved to Paris. When I reached school, the class had already started. Rule number 2. Now it helped establish a clear sequence of events in the past. Example, I had already eaten when she arrived, or they had finished the project before the deadline. Now, here is a quick riddle for your cheese. Left when Ishan arrived, Siddharth left. When Ishan arrived was when Roshi was leaving. Dawn had left when Ishan arrived. After Ishan arrived, Junior left. The answer is past perfect tells us that Drew left before Ishan arrived. Rules number 3. time expressions are often used with the past perfect tense to give you that little additional context and also to indicate the order of events. The rule number 3 is negative sentences. Let's take a look at the structure. Is the subject plus had plus not plus past participle. Example, she had not read the book before the book club meeting. They had not met each other prior to the conference. I had not traveled to Europe before my trip last summer. He had not received the email before the meeting. Once again, if you want a tense number 8, past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense, the final type of past tense. I had been drinking tea all night. I had been working there for 5 years before the company closed. Rule number 1, this is used to kind of describe ongoing, repeated, or continuous action that started in the past and continued up until another point or event in the past. It is quite similar to past perfect and it is used very rarely. In spoken English, the structure is subject, had been, verb, ing. She had been swimming for hours before the rescue boat arrived. The choir had been practicing for months before the concert. Now notice the difference between these two sentences. She had studied for the test when it got cancelled. She had been studying for the test when it got cancelled. The first is a completed action and the second past perfect continuous. The emphasis is on the duration and continuity of the action or event. The focus is on the experience of the action. She had been studying for hours before she took a break. Rule number 2, time expressions are often used with the past perfect continuous tense and they give you that additional context. They also indicate the duration of the action or the event, like for since all day until etc. Example, they had been waiting for 2 hours before the bus finally arrived. They had been playing tennis all morning before it started raining. Now note what is the difference between these two sentences. She was studying, she had been studying. The first is past continuous, ongoing action without reference to any other past action. She was studying this morning. The second one is an ongoing action that started and continued for a duration in the past till some past action interrupted it. She had been studying for 2 hours. When the electricity went okay, another quick riddle. Akash talks on the phone. Prithvi has been talking on the phone for an hour. Okay guys, thanks for joining me on this live class. Today we are excluded our class right now. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe this episode. Thank you so much.